Hey everyone, Contrail here, and welcome back to the channel. Man, today I am just feeling great. I woke up, I slept really well, and it's just looking behind me. It's a beautiful day today. Um, the sun's shining, not a cloud in the sky. My dog's sitting here right next to me, just napping on the floor. So I'm feeling pretty good right now. Um, and I figured that I would talk a little bit today about consistency, um, and not just like staying like consistent in my life, but also my plans to stay consistent on this channel. Because you've probably noticed, if you've been checking in every day, or I've been kind of trying to upload daily. I think ever since. Let me actually look, because even I'm a little unsure of it right now. Um, Yeah, I've been uploading a video every day for the last 3 days, which I'm actually really enjoying. Um, I've got to say, I thought it would be a little, strange, a little, difficult for me to keep a consistent upload schedule going. Um, but I've actually been finding it to be really good for me. Like, I'm realizing that staying consistent with the channel is actually improving my mood by like quite a decent amount. Because I kind of said this a little bit in my, my first video in this consistent upload stream, I guess, or upload schedule, that I feel really bad, just overall, for not giving this channel the attention that I feel like it kind of deserves. Because I kind of started something, and I said that I was gonna be uploading a lot, and I said that I was gonna be kind of consistent. And obviously that didn't end up happening. That didn't pan out. Um, and I partially attribute that to life getting in the way, like I said. And that's stuff you can't really control. But even if I do have a good reason for not being consistent, I do still feel bad. At the end of the day, I was still, not following through with something I said I was going to do. And I felt bad about that. Um, and so, yeah, uploading consistently has been a really nice change of pace. And I'm really glad that I've been doing it, and I'm going to keep doing it, reasonably for as long as I can, because like I said, previously, a lot of callbacks in this chat here. Um, like I said, I don't have a lot going on in my life right now, and so I'm able to devote a lot more time to the channel, and I'm gonna continue to carve out a decent chunk of my time for this channel, because I feel like now I'm really kind of getting into just not just like the schedule of a content creator, like uploading, daily, getting a ton of content out there, but I'm also getting into the mindset of a content creator. Um, I've noticed that I've been a lot more creative in the sense that like I'm thinking about a lot more stuff. You know, it used to be that I would kind of just have a lot of thoughts in my head and they would just kind of bounce around and they would just kind of stay in my head, bounce around and not do a whole lot. They just sit there and I'd think about them and I'd let them move on. But now that I'm, thinking in the mindset of a content creator, I'm not letting these thoughts pass me by. I'm popping into Audacity and I'm, doing what I'm doing right now, which is just talking into the mic until I feel like that thought has been realized, until that thought has been given the justice of explaining and putting it down on paper. Obviously not real. Yeah, but kind of circling back to the original topic of just being consistent in your life. I feel like I've been finding a whole new appreciation for just the concept of staying consistent. Staying consistent, obviously, in the things that you do, your hobbies, your work, your friends, you know, just being consistent overall in your life, I think is something that I've not really done a whole lot. Especially, I kind of touched on this a little bit in my video about perfectionism and my experience with it. But I feel like I haven't been the most consistent student, which is definitely true. I mean, I feel like that's not a super unique thing, being like a super consistent student, in the sense that like you deliver the same quality work every single time without fail. That was absolutely not me. And the reason I bring up school is because that was the most consistent thing, I feel like, or one of I don't want to say the most consistent thing because that implies that I only did school, which is absolutely not the case. But I feel like it's been one of the most consistent things in my life, has constantly been, like the need to check in, to stay on top of your assignments. That has been one of the most consistent things in my life, with like that and like eating and sleeping and like just existing. School has constantly just been that, it's been that bit of consistency in my life, and to see it gone is kind of strange. I mean, even still, I've been graduated now for almost a month, and I'm still constantly getting that like kind of nagging feeling in the back of my mind where it's like, you really should like check in, and it's like, I have to remind myself that like I don't need to check in, I'm done for the moment. I don't have to do any of that stuff. And oh geez, that voice crack. I'm gonna need to get a drink of water soon. I've been talking a lot. But yeah, it's really strange. Like I keep saying, the fact that something that was such a big part of my life is now just gone, and that element of consistency in my life is just it's non-existent anymore. And I feel like my sense of focus and consistency that was initially going to school is now shifting, and it's now kind of swapped over to content creation. Like that is becoming my new consistent and my new consistent focus in life right now, which is content creation. And I'm really excited about that new direction that's happening right now, because it's a really interesting feeling, discovering something new. In my case, becoming consistent with content creation and kind of becoming enthralled by it. It's interesting having all these new experiences, and I'm grateful that I'm reacting well to them, and that I'm not figuring out like, oh, this isn't something I really want to do after putting it out there, that like, oh, I'm gonna keep doing this, and I don't know. I'm really glad that I'm finding something new that I can enjoy and that I can learn more about. Because I feel like a lot of the stuff that I've been kind of exposing myself to, it hasn't really been, I guess, challenging me overly too much. And I really like how, because everything in content creation is so new to me, it's different learning how to be consistent with content creation than it is with something like school. Whereas school, you had to jump through a ton of hoops that you didn't really care all that much about. With content creation, for me, it's new in the sense that, like, yeah, you still have to jump through a ton of hoops, the whole, recording, editing everything down, figuring out, you know, what you want to talk about or what you want to do for like a video idea, there's still a ton of hoops, but at the same time, you want to jump through those hoops. You know, you want to put out something that's really great, and you want to do it consistently. You know, I mean, I've heard, shoot, my chair. I swear I'm gonna have to replace this thing soon. But you know, I've heard tons of when I watch interviews with other more successful content creators, I always hear about this like inherent love of the craft, you know, which was like, you know, I love the process of the person in the interview would say, you know, oh, I love the process of making the video, or I love, you know, the deep dives that I do to make the videos, and it's, I never really understood that, I guess, you know, before obviously doing this. And now that I'm finally beginning to discover that love for the consistency of, you know, making content, you know, I think I kind of get where they're coming from now. And you know, it didn't, obviously this love didn't manifest early on like it did for them. You know, some of them, they were like, you know, 8 years old and they were loving making videos, and you know, they had those influences in their lives. I kind of came around from the sense of, you know, watching videos and wishing that I could make them, to now actually doing it myself and realizing like, oh, you know, I actually really like this. You know, even like to the same extent that I like watching videos, I like making them as well. And I'm really enjoying this new aspect of my life. I mean, like, legitimately. I mean, there's been a lot of stuff that's kind of, it's lost its allure, you know. You know, like with video games for me, I used to play video games freaking all day. You know, it's what I did in middle school, you know, just constantly playing video games. When I'm not doing school, I'm playing video games. And I mean, video games got me through the pandemic. You know, I still credit them with being part of the reason why I didn't like go insane during that time. But you know, over the years, as I've kind of, you know, grown and matured, and my worldview has gotten different, I've stopped playing video games as much, you know. And it's disappointing sometimes to look back on something that you really used to enjoy doing, like to a really high extent, and seeing that like, oh, you know, it's tapering off, you know. And I guess the point I'm trying to make is I might have already said it, you know, but I'm glad for myself that I'm enjoying doing content creation right now, because I feel like I really needed this to kind of take all of this creative energy that's kind of been bouncing around in my head, and actually put it towards something. So yeah, I think I'm gonna end it there. I said my piece. I feel like I just needed to get that out there, you know, to say what I was thinking. And that's what a lot of these, you know, daily uploads are going to be, is just thoughts that are bouncing around in my head that I feel like I need to record and put out there. So yeah, I think that's all she wrote. So if you do like these kind of introspective videos that I do with myself, maybe consider dropping a like, you know, maybe subscribe, comment on the video, you know, maybe talk about your own instances of, you know, being consistent in your life. Because I'd really love to hear about those and how stuff is going for you guys. So, you know, just consider doing that. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll catch y'all in a little bit. See ya.